Good afternoon, YouTube. It's afternoon here in sunny Florida, and today we're working Dodge Journey. And I recently put this car together. It took me about 8 months, and everything needed to be replaced on the car. Well, when I got to get it go running, it had an electrical issue. I was going to drive the car, so I'm like, wow, what's going on with this car? And as a side note, I had replaced the battery and I had already replaced the alternator. But there was a starting issue, and every time you tried to start the car, it would go like a starter problem, go click, 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 click. So I went ahead and changed the starter for the heck of it. I was already in there, and the engine mount was broken anyway when I got in. I'm glad I did that. So I put a new starter in it, and I put a new motor mount in the front, and I'm thinking, okay, it's going to start now, and it didn't. And so it kept going click, 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 and I had already replaced one of the battery cable terminals. And today I want to go over that a little bit. And so anybody that owns one of these cars knows that these Journey's battery, I'm going to show you, is in the wheel well. And it's a bad place to be, because nothing but sand and grub and dirt and sand and salt hit that splash shield and can get in there and wreak havoc with that battery. My goodness. Now, this car here is a V6. This is a very rare Journey. It's V6 all-wheel drive, leather sunroof, Alpine stereo system. It's really a nice car, and so I wanted to save the car because it was a junker. It was all rusty. I replaced a lot of the rusted stuff in there and spent a couple of $1,000 on it, replacing it and cleaning it. It was a smokeless car. It was all smoked up. Anyway, so what I did was I had a issue with the electrical not starting, as I previously mentioned. So let's go down here and find out what the problem was. So this right here, I've got the battery cables off. This is the place for the battery, and so this battery is in now the wheel well. And so obviously you got to support the car with the jack and the jack stand, and then you got to take the wheel off. Then you got to pull the splash, a two-piece splash shield. You got to take that apart, and that will allow you to access the battery, right? So now once you get to the battery, this is a choking point or a bad point. This right here, these terminals, a lot of the cars, even my new Mustang over there, it's got a two-piece terminal. It's a bad gig. So this is the positive, and I had replaced this one already. So I'm thinking, okay, this is good. This one here, as far as I could see when I pulled it, was clean, man. I said, so this was clean. This had been replaced. Battery was new. I think, why isn't this car starting, man? So I did a little quick voltmeter test all across the car. And what was happening was that negative, when the battery was hooked up, I hit the positive terminal. And then this is where the negative post is on the firewall. Anybody knows that, right? So I was touching the negative. I was only getting, instead of getting 12 volts, getting 4 volts. I'm thinking, man, that battery terminal has got to be bad. I thought, man, maybe I need a new set of battery cables. And I called the junkyard in a couple places. Nah, they didn't have one. One was stripped out and gone. And then I was going to buy something on eBay. So I decided to bring it to a shop I normally visit. And I had the car towed over there because I have AAA. And so the guy, he did his testing. He came out with the same thing. He tested the resistance, which I did not do. And he found out, hey man, he had to pull the cables off, and he had to clean. Now this is where the choking point is. He had to clean this piece right here, which I've just replaced with a new bolt and put some dielectric grease in there. But that piece right there was rusted. He goes, man, that cable was rusted, dude. I said, no way. And I had taken off about 10 times because I've had this car for a long time. And I'm thinking, wow, are you kidding me? So the rust buildup is on the negative cable. I'm sure this could happen to the positive too, because where this battery is at, you can't see it. It's getting wreaked havoc on from all the weather and the elements and the road. It stopped the Journey from turning. It would go click, click, click. And this is right at, I was just going to drive the car and put it on the road, put a plate on it, register it, and all that baloney. And wow. So if you're having a problem clicking, you're going through a couple things, you're getting 4 volts up there, everything's new, everything's looking good, and the car just won't start, man. And I seen all those tricks with the starter, taking the key out and all this other stuff. I had done all that stuff, man. This has push button start, so the key fob was working good. Man, I'm telling you, I was pulling my hair out, and the guy, he started with the battery, because I had told him I think it's a bad cable. And he took it, he said, Rich, this cable, this is rusted, man. That's what your problem. I said, oh man, I thought those were clean. He looked at me, he said, your battery cable was rusty, dude. So anyway, so that was happening. So if you have a Journey and it won't start and you're getting a little clicking, and this is a 14, so it's 10 years old, check the battery cables, guys. Listen, have a great day. Happy motoring.